Hi everyone, my name is Alexandra Clements and I am the founder and executive director of Endangered Rainforest Rescue. Our work is based here in the Darien Gap of Panama, where we work to restore and protect one of the most critical and important rainforest ecosystems on our planet. The reason that this rainforest is so important in the Darien Gap is because it connects two continents, North and South America. And in this area, there is a high probability that you're going to run into species that can be found nowhere else on Earth. And within this relatively small jungle, you have a several array of species, from mammals to trees to birds. All species that are migrating also through these areas include the continents. So what we have been working on for the past 7 years is reforesting an area here in the Darien Gap and focusing on a critical corridor that is currently severed due to deforestation. This ecosystem is under severe threat from the ever-expanding cattle ranching frontier and also from monocrop cultures. So right now, there is an area of this Darien region where there's a patch of deforestation. And what we're trying to do is connect this rainforest again in the lowland ecosystem, opening up those migratory pathways for species once again. We also have several different nurseries and different indigenous communities throughout the area where we collect seeds of endangered tree species and bring them to grow. And we eventually use these seedlings in our reforestation strategy for this larger corridor project that we have. We started out with a focus on endangered tree species because each species of tree plays an essential role in the ecosystem here. So if you lose one species of tree, a whole other different array of species that the ecosystem relies on is lost. So the loss of one tree species has a ripple effect. So we use all of these tree species to reforest and restore native forest, also by protecting primary forest in the places where it still is unprotected, which is very important because if we lose the primary forest, we have nothing to connect to.
Lige nu står vi ude i regnskoven igen ved en af IRR's forskningsstationer, hvor de arbejder med at samle viden omkring regnskoven i det her projekt med, at vi skal genetablere regnskov. Og Alexandra vil vise os et kort over, hvor det er, vi er henne, og hvorfor det er så vigtigt at arbejde med netop det her område af regnskoven og genetablere det. So Alexandra, could you tell us a bit and show us on the map that what am I looking at?
Sure. So right now, this is a map of the country of Panama. And if you go into the southeast, this is Colombia, and it connects to Costa Rica over here. And this band of forest that is running across the top of the country is part of the Mesoamerican Biological Corridor. So one of the most important forests to keep intact because this dictates the migratory flow of so many different species. And arguably the most important area of the entire Mesoamerican Biological Corridor is the Darien region because this is what connects to South America and allows all the species to move through and back into the different continents. And right here is the Chuquenake River corridor where we're standing right now. So you can see there's this big patch of deforestation that's cut out into this corridor. And right now there's only connectivity through the mountains. In the lowland, it is severed. So what we're trying to do is reconnect this forest to heal the lowland of the Mesoamerican corridor so that species can flow again through the continents. So this is our corridor area on a high-resolution map, so you can really see the greenery of the forest. Here is the protected Embera-Wonan comarca, and this is the Cuna forest. These are the forests that we are trying to connect to. And as you can see, there's these isolated patches of forest that are still remaining that is fragmented through this deforested zone. And right now we are standing between our two parcels, number 37 and 70. And all of these deforested parcels is where we will plant native forest to connect back this primary forest to open up the species flow and migratory pathways for species like the jaguar once again. The species like the jaguar are walking in these forests here, desperately trying to get to these patches of forest to get to either side.
First one.
Hi. Can you tell us a bit about what it is you're doing out here?
Sure. So right now we are collecting seeds from an endangered tree called the Almendro de Montaña. This is some of the seeds that we collected just now. And the reason that we're collecting seeds of the almendro is because we are reforesting it. Many of these trees have been lost in different regions. And it's also a very important species for birds and bats because they call it their home. So right in this basket, we have almost 200 seeds that we will bring to our nursery in the community and grow them and eventually plant them back out into the forest.
Det, jeg står foran lige nu, det er en plantebørnehave, hvor en masse træer er ved at gro, som I kan se lige her. Og det er træer, som er truet i regnskoven, og som de kun har kunne finde i det her særlige område i den panamanske regnskov, vi er i lige nu. Og grunden til, at de dyrker dem, det er fordi, at de ønsker at skulle reetablere de her truede træarter i andre steder, hvor regnskoven ikke længere findes, eller i hvert fald er meget truet på grund af de her skovfældninger, der har været.
Tenemos el cocobolo, que es uno de los materiales finos, la artesanía, es lo máximo. Eso es muy importante para la casa, el corte y también para comercializar. Y los turistas también vienen a veces a ver esto porque es un material que ya no existe en otro lugar. Todas estas plantaciones son importantes para todos nosotros ya, porque hay lugares que han devastado mucho y de aquí entonces vamos a ver cómo se trabaja con eso allá.